Since October, a series of personnel changes within the Chinese military indicated that Xi Jinping may have lost control over the military. Many China observers believe that she has been politically sidelined because the signs are very obvious. However, others argue that Xi Jinping still remains the most powerful political figure in China, and removing him is impossible. So I have covered both views in my past programs. Now, I think, based on the latest development in the past week, I think Xi Jinping may only appear to be a leader and is acting like one for the time being, before the party figures out a succession plan. And during this transition time, CCP's central leadership needs to send out a unified front to the outside world so the regime doesn't fall apart. But internal power struggles continue or has continued, and we are seeing conflicting messages. That's my conclusion, and here I'm going to back it up for you. So a few days ago, I'm going to give you a number of reasons why I say he's only the best acting chairman. So a few days ago, state media outlets all covered the news of Xi Jinping inspecting the Information Support Force on December the 3rd. So it was the convening of the first party members' conference of the newly created Information Support Force. The Information Support Force were established as part of the dissolution of the Strategic Support Force. However, his visit to the Information Support Force headquarters appeared to have been carefully staged for optics rather than substance. Now, the context for this visit is significant. The recent removal of Miao Hua, a member of CMC, has highlighted internal turmoil within the military. This has created widespread fear among officers linked to Miao. These events have contributed to growing instability and speculation about Xi Jinping's grip over the military. So the visit was designed to project an image of stability and strength, serving as a public relation exercise to counter the narratives that Xi Jinping has lost power. First of all, to show solidarity, Xi Jinping appeared with the other four members of CMC, which you've seen in the video. However, none of them looked very happy. So it's been a while since we've seen the group together, but take a look at their facial expression. Xi Jinping looked so tired and down, and Zhang Youxia looked indifferent. And I think the other three looked a little bit awkward in this picture, but none of them was smiling or smiled at all. This photo was taken from the 5-minute news by CCTV, and it has been interpreted by many political observers or China watchers as evidence disproving the notion that Xi Jinping has lost control over the military. The reasoning is that the image shows Xi sitting alone in the center, with all the other senior officers or members of CMC seated separately on either side, ostensibly projecting Xi's sole dominance in this setting. Does this picture look normal to you? It doesn't look normal to me because something is wrong. Xi Jinping never appeared in a PLA or political event in a setting like this. At least I have not seen it. In fact, this picture demonstrates why Xi Jinping is in big trouble. And to put it more starkly, this news by CCTV seems to convey a message in a very subtle way to suggest that Xi Jinping has stepped down. From another angle, Xi Jinping is sitting facing the stage. And if you look closely, there was actually a podium. There is a platform or a riser covered by a red carpet, right? Right in front of the screens. It's clearly a stage or speaker's podium. And there are a number of large screens, behind the podium. For you to see, we've highlighted them in red circles. Now, the setup is abnormal. Why wasn't Xi Jinping seated on the stage or podium? In the past, when Xi Jinping chaired military meetings, he either sits, for example, they're always on the stage. And even when he sits alone. Here you have another setting where he is by himself. But you see, there's a banner behind him. There's some kind of a banner or some setup behind him, indicating that he's actually sitting um, on the podium or with the stage behind him. Right? He's never looking at the stage. He was sitting on the podium against the wall, with a display screen or a banner above him showing the meeting's name or slogan. The reason why they always put the CCP leaders sitting on the podium is they want to ensure proper lighting, because the stage usually has a lighting setup, and it's a standard setup by the Central Propaganda Department for photographing the leaders. He sat off the stage. Now, in Chinese, off the stage means losing power or stepping down. In Chinese, it is 下台. So this picture literally means that Xi Jinping is off the stage or has stepped down, if you speak that in Chinese. So for this picture, the seating arrangement suggests a deliberate downgrade of Xi Jinping's status, while the CCP-controlled media portrayed this as a sign of Xi Jinping's continued authority, sitting alone in the center, right? So while it sends that image, while it intends to send that signal, it also sends a subtle but significant signal of Xi Jinping's diminished respect or influence. Now, seating arrangement is a big deal with CCP officials. For those who are familiar, with CCP politics, if Xi Jinping is still the top leader, it would be unthinkable for a newly created PLA unit to insult their commander by arranging an off-the-stage seating like that. So you might say, well, could it be because Xi Jinping needs to watch a video and wanted to sit across from the screen and not with his back to the screen? That's exactly what came to my mind. I had the same question too. I said, well, maybe he just wanted to watch a video with his team because it's more convenient, right? Because you just look at the screen. Now, I asked one of my contacts who's an expert in Chinese politics, and I was told that was not the case. And it was explained to me that in CCP-controlled China, leaders would never be seated with the rest of his team for convenience, while ignoring protocol, indicating his status and prestige, or ignoring protocol that supports his status or prestige. If video presentations are involved at the meeting, the host would still seat Xi Jinping on the stage and bring him a small monitor for him to see, while the rest of the people look at the big screens. That's one possibility. And another solution is, after his speech, they would invite him to come off the stage and to sit where he is now to watch the video with the other officers. So they would never just seat him there for convenience, because they don't do this for convenience. I was told that this wasn't a technical conference. This wasn't a work conference. This was a party building conference. So the chances that Xi Jinping actually needs visual aids in his speech is non-existent. I mean, the screen is probably set up for other speakers if they ever need it. Maybe none of them would need a screen. So what does this imply? Well, it can only mean one thing. That is, Xi Jinping's seat was carefully arranged ahead of time, and he doesn't have much control over that. To the public, the authorities want everyone to believe that he still remains the supreme leader. However, they know he has lost power and can be given the same prestige as before. So Xi Jinping has been relegated to sitting below the podium on an equal footing with everyone else in the military. He no longer receives the symbolic treatment of a supreme leader.